Well, it seems to be working. Alright, hi guys. So, I will be finishing episode 4 Turnabout Goodbyes today. And then perhaps move on to episode 5 right after. We'll see how this will all turn out. Ah well, if my cat won't remain on my lap, I will sit a bit more comfortably then. Bear with me. Okay. Alright, let's go. Yeah, I was missing something on my laptop right there that I need while I stream. Ah, come on. Did it launch or not? Ah, there we go. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy! Just crazy! Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe you're a nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. It's unconventional that you should run it by the books. I should think that this is how it should be normally. No, I have no objections. No, Your Honor, Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Well, will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth, I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. And testify about this matter to the courts. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. The DL6 incident. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream. We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Bah, the same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well, Mr. Wright, you're... Oh, pardon me. I just had dinner. I keep burping. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. DL6 incident. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. What trial? was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly, only two things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Well, he's old after all, he was already around back then. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago, I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. Yeah, he wouldn't have forgotten. If it's the only stain on his track record. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator. Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then, as time passed and no one came to help, my father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then, just then something heavy fell at my feet. What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next? I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous, but the air was getting so thick I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze. A moment later there was a single gunshot, then a scream. The gun fired once? Yes, I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. A scream? Objection! If there was only one gunshot, there was the one that killed Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. But what's that impact in the door of the elevator? Objection! So there was only one gunshot. Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor, unfortunately you don't. Take a look at this. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. And in it lies a clear contradiction to Mr. Edgeworth's testimony. Well, I can see the victim, Gregory Edgeworth, lying there. But what do you mean, a contradiction? Just that I thought the judge is clueless as always. Yeah, show the judge the contradiction in the photo. Take that! Take that! It should be obvious the contradiction is here. I see a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Miles Edgeworth testifies that there was only one gunshot. However, according to this photograph, not one but 2 shots were fired. One shot hit the victim, the other hit the elevator door. I ask you then, why did Miles Edgeworth only hear one gunshot? This photograph does seem to confirm a second shot. However, when was the hole in the elevator made? It might have been there before the incident occurred. If it was there before, it has nothing to do with this incident. Mr. Wright, do you have proof that this bullet hole was caused at the time of the incident? Actually, I don't. Huh. No, actually, I don't. I didn't think of that. I don't have proof. Ha, as I suspected. Given that all this happened 15 years ago, it's doubtful any proof remains. Nick, take a look at this. The court record? Look, doesn't this make you think? What? She's right. That is strange. Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof. Oh, so I had proof, actually? Because if Maya called me on it like this, I think it means that I already had it. Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. What do you have that proves the bullet hole in the door was related to this incident? Oh, wait, maybe in there? Ah, the murder weapon was fired twice. Ah, yeah. On the second page. Your Honor, the answer is in this file. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? You would like me to forget about it, Von Karma? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page shows the link between this bullet hole and the DL6 incident? Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. Yeah, so who's to say that it was that gunshot that killed his father? Huh? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary? That's on page 1. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. I know where the other bullet is, but I'm not gonna spoil it now, just in case. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly, that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick! If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No, but you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. Good evening, Garby. Hi there. How are you? I'm sorry. It's just when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Good. Went to bed with a big Nintendo smile yesterday. Still happy about what's coming? Well, pretty happy about what's coming too, now that I've seen it, yeah. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot that I'm interested in from that direct. Practically everything. But we'll see when those things come out. Do they get physical releases? Are the ports of our games that are already on other systems gonna be any good? That sort of thing. I'm cautiously optimistic about them, anyway. And interested in most of them. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? It's way too much, actually. I don't earn that much money. Me neither. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. I did request Resident Evil 5 and 6 for review, by the way. So I don't have to buy those. And they probably won't get physical releases. I don't think so. Knowing Capcom, they probably won't have a physical release. So I requested them anyway. And that way, that's already some money that I'm gonna save that way. Because I've never played 5 and 6, so... Do you have any objections? No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention. Yes, I did. Oh no, he's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Haven't played 5, liked 6, but not all stories though. Ah. Well, it's Resident Evil, so even if they're like not super great or anything, well, I won't have paid for them if I get review copies. So at least there is that right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright. Your Honor, I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object? Nick, I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. Ah! It must exist. Hey, there was a flash of Mia there. It lasted like 2 frames, but I saw it. Ah, there it goes again. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist? But where? Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it existed. What? What we've just heard proved that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us just who is this murderer. I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? Huh? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? The murderer didn't have to look for it. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor, I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take the bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance what? Maybe the bullet hit the murderer? The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance, I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murder, the murderer themselves was shot. They left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime? Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there was a problem with that. The other 2 people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unarmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. Well, yeah, we see an impact in the door of the elevator, but the bullet would have gone out of the elevator if it came from the gun that Miles Edgeworth, like, threw at Yanni Yogi. two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. Objection! What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see? Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean, it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. What? Von Karma. Von Karma? You mean V. Von Karma, the prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah. You don't object? I see no need. Why, Honor? This is ridiculous. This ridiculous outburst with my objection. Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident, yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who this doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth! I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Grr. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Actually, I think you can. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... the metal detector! Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean? I do. There is a possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there is one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. Uh-oh. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? Order! 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 Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use a metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. Beep. It hurts my ears. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But, Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright, well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. I do! That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. 1 day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is a bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon, and all bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets, then if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Sorry for being so silent recently, writing a book. Mostly let your stream run in the back on my PlayStation. That's why I don't really write much in chat recently. I had a good flow. No problems. Just hope it's going well for you. You will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? He's losing it. That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help, I can't breathe. Quiet, I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Heart attacks. Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air. Get away. Get away from my father. Bang. That was the voice of Von Karma. It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me. So it was you. There are memes on that scene, like you putting heavy metal music to his head banging. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. It's hurting my throat making voices like that. 15 years earlier, Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry, Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you would have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! Is he gonna smash that wall forever if you don't click any buttons? Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, yeah. It would continue looping indefinitely until you do something. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then, it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later I spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought? Shit, I pressed the button too quick. Judge, what? What are you doing? Do your job, bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. For the second time. That is all. This court is adjourned. And that's the end of this case. For real this time. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say I'm impressed. Heh, it was pretty close though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now, it's all just a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right, yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know, try. Thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Whoop! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoop! I feel foolish. Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all. Lotta. Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Loda? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Why does that face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. Huh, you don't look sick. It's Kianci. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too, my treat, pal. Thanks, looking forward to it. Yo, Nick, that's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not polystock for prison food, right? Right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Is it Larry or Harry in the end? Right. Yeah, what's up? An envelope that Larry gave me. It's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38? No. No, Larry, it was you! What are you so surprised about, Wright? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Heh. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know! Really, Wright, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, huh? Edgeworth. You should have told me! Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations ends run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. Death. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if I only had known, I'd have become a prosecutor. Same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Hey, y'all, line up, I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time, let's go. And after that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. December 29th. The offices. Wow, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you. But I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? Ah! The first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station! I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits, and I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in the daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence to cheer her up. Well, the bullet that she managed to hold on to. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL6, but you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins, but the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim. Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Well, you get the credits, but there is still one bonus quote-unquote case in this game. Hey pal, Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. What? Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Huh, Nick? Nah, I haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. Missy isn't a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you'd call a cheap... Yeah, right. She's in Hawaii right now, yeah. Same old. That guy? Who, Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. Phoenix Wright? The defense attorney for whom I have wrote that affidavit for, yes. You should know, I've taken blah blah blah, yeah, it's scrolling automatically, so if I take my time to read it out loud... Ahem! Oh, it's you. Phoenix, right? Ah, yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Ah, the days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see? Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. What about Joaquin Phoenix then? He's named Phoenix. That's his last name, but still. my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin my kids' dreams, you know? What, he's the guy playing the pink princess? Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit but didn't have time, so I sent her some pink princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway? A place with hot springs and waterfalls. Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright? But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day. And I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. What a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age. Atsushi Naba. Hey, that's the guy that went on to found Platinum Games, isn't it? Right? I think so. Well, yeah, he was very close to Shinji Mikami, though, so that would explain it, yeah. Capcom. Hold it! Yeah, hold it, yeah. There's still one more. It's been 2 months since Maya left the office. 2 months without a single trial. I've had offers, but none I took. That is, until the day that that girl showed up. February 22nd. So that would place this, yeah, about 2 months later, yeah, then. Yeah. Why do I come here to the office every day? It's not like I want to work. There you are, finally. Where have you been? My sister's trial is tomorrow. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am, it only matters who you are. Famous defense attorney, Mia Fey. Oh, you're not Mia Fey, are you? I'm sorry, but Miss Mia Fey no longer works here. So you are the coffee boy. I'm Felix Wright, a defense attorney. Right. Wait, you're the Phoenix Wright? The Phoenix Wright from the Edgeworth murder case? Yes, that's correct. It wasn't Edgeworth who was murdered, though. That's a relief that you're better than nobody. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I'm not taking cases right now. But you are Phoenix Wright, right? The undefeated defense attorney? Look, I'm not accepting new cases. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try elsewhere. Please, I'm out of time. But, please, you have to help. It's my sister. He's getting a flashback. Maya? Could it be? No, it's not Maya. Okay, I'll hear you out. Really? Thank you so much. My name's Emma Sky. I'm a scientific investigator. Scientific investigator? There's a poster of the Steel Samurai on the wall. Maya stuck it up here on the day that she left. I didn't have the heart to take him down. I do sometimes get strange looks from the clients, though. Mia's plant, Charlie. I've been taking care of him in Maya's absence. Looks like it's cleaning day again at the hotel across the way. I hear they're planning a second branch outside the city. Hey gats, the bellboy was staring right at me. Mia's desk. I sit here even less now that I've stopped taking cases. I ought to at least dust it off once in a while. Difficult-looking legal books stand in a formidable row. They mock me. I tried reading one, and it made my head hurt. When I closed it, it slipped out of my hand. Then my foot hurt too. Yeah, that joke was already in a different episode. Emma, was it? So you're a scientific investigator? Yes, that's right. Is something wrong? No, it's just you seem kind of jumpy or maybe just young. Young? I'll be 16 years old this year. Oh, I see. Wait, only 16? I'm set to be formally assigned to forensics in 3 more years. My work is becoming quite well known, at my age no less. So what exactly is your current position then? Well, legally speaking, I guess you'd call me an 11th grader, but I'm ready to do my job, at my age no less. Great. Another future professional in training. Like Maya. So what's this about a case? You said the trial's tomorrow? My sister didn't do it. She wouldn't stab someone with a knife. She wouldn't. So, it's a murder case. I don't care if there's a witness who saw her do it. She didn't do it. I know she didn't do it. It's a scientific fact. And there's a witness. Just talk to her. You have to talk to her. Right. I suppose I will. I promised her I'd bring Mia Fey, but that's interesting. How would she know Mia? My sister asked for Mia specifically. This Mia Fey person was a few years below her in school. So they went to the same school, huh? She always told me to go to Mia if I ever needed a defense attorney. And well, I need one. Incidentally, Mia is a woman. Now that you mention it, I guess it is more of a woman's name than a man's. Well, it's nice of you to help your sister out like this. You must be close. Well, actually, when she gets like she is now, I kind of hate her. Huh? But she's my only family. Your only family? What about your parents? They died in a car accident when I was little. Oh, I'm sorry. So you want to be a scientific investigator when you grow up, then? Excuse me? I'm not a child, I'll have you know. Still, it's good to have a goal, albeit a very unusual one. I believe investigations should be done scientifically, don't you? Yeah, sure can fault her for a lack of enthusiasm. If this case is handled scientifically, I'm sure my sister's name will be cleared. Your sister? I've been doing research, you know. I'm developing a new scientific method of case investigation. I'll show you when I'm done. I'm looking forward to it, because I should get down to the detention center and talk to her sister. Visitor's room. I wonder what's wrong with Emma. She got quiet all of a sudden as soon as we arrived. Guard, I thought I told you I didn't want visitors. Sorry, ma'am. It's just your sister. No excuses, or did you not want a raise this year, Understood, ma'am. What was that all about? Hi, Alana. Funny. I seem to remember specifically telling you not to come here. Perhaps my memory is failing. Look, I didn't want to come here either, okay? But your trial's tomorrow and you still don't have a defense attorney. I'll be the one in court tomorrow. This has nothing to do with you, Emma. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Hey, how do you know me? Mia mentioned you. I've heard quite a bit. I'm sorry, what exactly is it that you do? My name is Lana, Lana Sky. I'm chief prosecutor for this district. Oh, you're a prosecutor? 2 sisters, 1 lawyer. Could this be a coincidence? Emma, Lana, I mean they're just like... something wrong, Mr. Wright. Wrong, right. Details. There's something you should know from the start, which is the suspect in this case has confessed to the crime. Huh? Wait, but the suspect is me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright? Well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? The crime took place yesterday, February 24th at 5:15 p.m. That's quite specific. It was in the witness's deposition. The witness clearly saw me committing the crime. My, that was a bit of bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. The prosecutor's office, huh? In your subordinate's car trunk. Classy. I was arrested on the spot, caught red-handed, as it were. Well, that's just great. So who was with the victim? An investigator with the police department. I suppose the correct term is detective. A detective? That was due to a loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you? That wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. I see. Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? Uh-oh. What, Mr. Wright? What does it mean? Well, it means the police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do so. This case gets worse and worse with everything I learn. So you're the chief prosecutor. That is correct. I'm responsible for overseeing every trial handled by prosecutors in this district. I make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do the job and manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities in a nutshell. That's an awfully large nutshell. Still, I'm a little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright. Huh? In fact, it seems impossible you wouldn't. Lana, what happened to your hand? Oh, this? I cut myself by accident when I stabbed him, that is. Huh? I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. How am I supposed to defend this? Time to change the subject. Wait, she was in the class ahead of Mia, wasn't she? You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her? Emma told you that too, did she? Well, why not? I did drag him all the way here from this office. Although it seems he has very little in common with Mia. Hey! It was in law school. I was in my 3rd year and she was auditing the class. She was different than the other students. Different? She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything. That was probably why she was attracted to me. Excuse me? Intellectually attracted. Lana was top of her class in school. It was the best there was. Oh. I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way. It sounds a bit different when Emma says it. Well, Mr. Wright. Excuse me? As you can plainly see, I am admitting my own guilt. I think it's safe to say there's no way you can take this case. None. But Lana... Why? Why are you doing this to me? You never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it, Lana. I know. So how can you say you did? If I lose you, I'll be all alone. I hate you, Lana. Mr. Wright. Yes? I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest, I leave to you. You mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed after all. The case is over. Right. I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this. Lana has confessed to the crime, yes. But something doesn't fit. It's that look in Emma's eyes. There's something else going on here. And I'm going to find out what. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Huh? About what? My sister. She's not always like that, you know. I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling. Everybody liked her. I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. What happened to her? I don't know for certain myself. I think maybe she... well, maybe not. Sounds like there's something there that defies a simple scientific explanation. Let's go check out this underground parking at the prosecutor's office, shall we? Okay. So this is the lot where it all happened. Looks like they're still investigating. Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this. Hey everyone, keep up the good work. Hey, what are you thinking? Well, they are going to be my co-workers 3 years from now, after all. No harm in saying hello. Actually, there is. You know attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes. I'm trying to not stand out too much here, see? Hey there. Expecting to go and notice here, partner? Partner? Ah, yeah, I remember this guy. What do we have here? Looks like a bambina got loose from the ranch and is up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them doggies tied down, partner. Mr. Marshall. Oh yeah, I like his way of shaving. Marshall looks more like a sheriff to me. Looky here, bambina, I know how you feel, but this is my gang's gold strike, see? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with a model load of evidence. If you're fixing to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You want to? What's this guy talking about? You head along home now. Happy trails, bambina. Was that a hombre, a friend of yours? Kind of, sort of, yeah. He's a detective who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems. What's this? A wallet? Excuse me, officer? Wait, what are you doing, Mr. Wright? What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police. I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything at a crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it in your pocket. How is that scientific? Sounds like theft to me. Wallet hastily stuffed into pocket. A foldable wallet found at the crime scene. There seems to be something inside. I'm called to duty already at my tender age. Here, I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay? Yeah, she teaches you to examine it in 3D. By the way, her eyes are sparkling. I can tell she's been waiting for this. Okay, now look at the court record. You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully on all sides. Now, let's start examining from every angle. Oh, look! I think there might be a clue here. You should check it out with the press of the A button. Ah, okay, yeah. It used to be that on the DS, you had two, like, kind of cogwheels, I think you should call them, on each side to rotate it on each axis. But here you just use the right joystick. This is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. ID number 5842189. See, well, isn't scientific investigation useful? I guess, though I don't see what science has to do with it. Goodman's ID added to the court record. Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find. I guess I've got to be on my toes from now on. Look, a door! This must mean something! I'm not sure that doors mean anything. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. I fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? That's a stepladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horrible familiar somehow. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure. What is she babbling about? Hey, what did you just say? See, you can hear just fine. The phone's broken. An oil drum. Looks like it's filled with water. It's heavy. I can't even budge it. The drum over here is on its side. Wait, I know. I'll hide in here and do a stakeout. I think you'll probably just get arrested. In fact, you may not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested. What? I'm not suspicious. This is where the cars leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Well, maybe it's both. Kind of a dual purpose. Aha, the theory of relativity. What? Huh. I've got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe, was Mr. Relativity German or was he British? Mr. Relativity, are you sure that's what his name? And so you can look at it in 3D. Yeah, other than updating perhaps the police department texture, they left the texture as is from the DS version, I think. Oh hey, I can look at my badge in 3D now, can't I? Hey! 26381. So this is what the back of the badge looks like. And I always thought it had a safety pin. Each badge has a number carved into it. And that way you can tell which attorney it belongs to. I know I'd be found out right away. Well, that's no fun. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm feeling so drowsy. Well, no time to waste. Let's get hunting for clues. I wonder what this is. Well, partner, looks like you got no intention of going home quietly. The sheriff. Like I said before, this here is our claim. You'd best be moseying around, unless you're fixing to bite the bullet. Scary. Could you just tell us one thing? Who owns that car? Well, the little filly's got a good nose on her. You want to know who rides that red Mustang with the body in her saddle, hey? Please. No problem, partner. About time for fiddles, anyway. Get yourself to the saloon up on 12th floor of the prospector's office. Might just find you a cerveza if you like. Cerveza you like, sorry. Prospector's office? Where does this guy think he is? And when, for that matter? Note to self, look up Fiddles Saloon Cerveza. Maybe we should check out room 1202, the High Prosecutor's office. In any case, stay away from the car. You can look around here all you like, just keep your paws off our claim. Right, great. Great, maybe there are some clues around here, Mr. Wright. Let's check it out. Excuse me? Were you two all set? Huss? Oh, hello. What's this? She couldn't be... You're selling lunches? Here? This is a crime scene. Hello. Half and half, was it? Oh, thanks. And you, sir? Yes? Some crunchy goodness coming at you. Thanks. Interesting way of doing business. This area is off limits to anyone without clearance, especially passers-by. Or are you officers? No, but you don't exactly look like the type to have clearance. Well, that's hardly a way to greet someone. Even if my days as the cuff-up queen are over. Cuff up, huh? I'm feeling kind of full. Maybe I'll pass on lunch. I'm quite connected to this case, you see. The images are burned into my eyes, you might say. Yes, all the sordid secrets. Secrets? Dear me, you are a slow one, aren't you? I'm referring to the murder, the stabbing of that detective. What? The witness clearly saw me committing the crime. You mean you're the witness my sister was talking about? Please, cough up Queen. Tell us what happened. The name is Angel Star. Don't you go forgetting it. Or before you know it, I'll have you whimpering at my heels. Yes, ma'am. Yipes, she means it. A dominatrix? Setting bento? I wasn't done examining everything back there. Or I can't maybe now? Oops. Talk to her first. Somehow I knew. Yesterday was the day of destiny. I knew something was going to happen. Just like I know that the daily special on Friday every week is Salmon. Destiny? Was yesterday special for some reason? You're a defense attorney, right? You should know then. You should know the foul misdeeds of the evil ones who haunt this den of iniquity. Evil ones? Prosecutors, they have no qualms at all about blackening the name of innocence. And yesterday they paid homage to the most evil one of all. They gave an award of King of Prosecutors. What a farce. So she's saying there was some sort of prosecutors convention yesterday. I was almost compelled to lace your lunches with something foul. Do you have a personal grievance against prosecutors or something? Or is there some kind of scientific evidence of this, evil? Young miss, mock me at your own risk. You'll soon find out why they call me the Cuff-Up Queen. You! The most heinous of all the evil ones, the one they awarded yesterday. It was in his car that they found the body. Proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all. Really? Really what? I'm totally confused. One thing's clear, this lunch lady has a thing against prosecutors. Okay, tell me about what you witnessed. That's what you already said just now. We've already been through all this. I'm pretty sure I pressed on the second one. Could we ask you a bit about yourself, Miss Star? I come here every day to sell lunches. I import only the freshest and best from the Far East. For some reason, the box lunches are a hit here. Why not make the lunches here rather than import them? Did you say something? No. Only true connoisseurs can understand. The kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Tso's Trilobite lunch set. Ah, never mind, you win. I don't even want to appreciate part of a Trilobite's flavor. Anyway, I come here every day to sell lunches. My boyfriend works in the security room here at the prosecutor's office. Your boyfriend? See the security room over there? The glass-walled booth? I sell my lunches, and since I'm here anyway, I drop in to see him. Since you're here anyway, I guess selling lunches is more important than romance. So to scientifically analyze the data available so far, you, Miss Star, are a lunch vendor with an ulterior motive for coming here. Useful analysis. Not. So what exactly was it that you witnessed, Miss Star? It was a fascinating spectacle, to be sure. I now feel I know what they say when they talk about a woman's wrath. See Lana Sky wield that knife so. Her knife flashed in anger, bringing him to a sad end. It was truly a sight to see. You mean you saw the very moment of the crime? The sound of his silvery ties to this world being cruelly cut still rings in my ears. And the rhythmic beat of Lana Sky's knife. Wait a second, you know Lana Sky? Of course, it's quite a feat becoming chief prosecutor. How many lunchboxes of sin did she pack to make that journey, I wonder? She always travels light. Now, why would this pretty lunch lady know the chief prosecutor's name? Did you have a bad experience with the prosecutor, Miss Starr? I sense some hostility. Hostility? Huh, perhaps. Prosecutors are all alike, and the bigger they get, the worse they smell. Kind of like 10-day-old clams in the chowder. I wonder if Miss Starr was involved in some sort of legal trouble in the past. That'd be a sure cause of food poisoning, scientifically speaking, of course. I mean, now you're talking, Cuff-Up Queen. I thought she was just a lunch vendor, but now I'm not so sure. About this card. Lunchland vendors only accept cash, no cards, especially not a card belonging to someone else. No, this isn't a credit card. It's an ID card. It belongs to a detective. And you're showing it to me, the lunch lady. Why? That's like showing a fine Audie'd ham to a detective. Why do I always feel like I'm being mocked? Hey, I know that office. He put his suit in a frame. This is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, really. Thanks. Look, there's a trophy or something here. A trophy? What, that shield? It takes real nerve to display stuff like this. Whoever's office this is, they must be a real stuck-up jerk. Phoenix Wright. You never tire of prying into other people's business, do you? That voice. Long time no see, Edgeworth. Huh? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth? You know him from somewhere? Of course! I'm his biggest fan. My sister introduced us once, and... Right, her sister is the chief prosecutor after all. Well, what brings you here? I'll warn you, I've been known to be a real stuck-up jerk. No, did I? No. It was just Mr. Wright here. Hey, don't blame me. We were just here to investigate a murder case. Murder? A body was found in this nasty bright red sports car in the parking lot. That would be my car. What of it? What? Your car? I'll say one thing, you certainly can scream. Wow, this jacket is even lacier than his usual ones. This must be his lucky trial jacket. Lucky jacket, right. I've never seen him wear it. I'm sure there's a story behind why it is in the frame. Maybe I'll be naughty and take a picture. She's getting way too excited about this. I've been wondering, what the heck is this? It has a big K on it. Huh? What's that? It's the King of Prosecutors trophy. King of Prosecutors? It's a great honor. They send that shield to the best prosecutor each year. My closet is full of them. What? So that K... That's... K stands for King. Yeah, you got a problem with that? I didn't design the thing. King of Prosecutors, kind of like Employee of the Month, only better. No clues here. Hey, he's got a Steel Samurai action figurine. That's not what I was looking at. My, what an amazing bouquet, just right for Mr. Edgeworth. No kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead. Wendy. Oh, Wendy Old Bag? Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before. And beside it, a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. Wendy, is she Mr. Edgeworth's fiancée? No, not really. I don't think so. Well, she does call him, edgy boy or something. Edge boy. Shoot. I clicked on the same thing a second time. Wow, what a view! It must be nice to have an office on the 12th floor. I guess you would feel it important. Incidentally, were you to jump out this window, the time until impact with the ground would be... Got it! Approximately 3.23 seconds. That's handy to know. Thanks. Oh, cute. What a pretty tea set. I go more for the instant tea bags myself. Amazing, the drawer below is filled with packets of tea leaves. They're all sorted by place of origin and flavor. Look at this royal blend. What an exquisitely splendid concoction. There's such a thing as taking a hobby too far. These are all case files. They're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder. Odd. I thought Edgeworth wasn't good with hides. He must have someone get them for him. Detective Gumshoe? I can picture him. Strange, why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? He must study these case reports so closely. He's so cool. You wouldn't say that if you saw him sweating bullets up on that ladder. I think there is something later on, or something to do with that claim that he's afraid of heights, so he doesn't reach for the files that are at the top of the shelf. Ah, shoot. I wish you could skip these more efficiently. Hey, a chessboard. I'm not too up on my chess, but it looks like blue is in a bit of a tight spot. No kidding. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn. Huh. Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out that poor pawn. His head is kind of spiky. Kind of reminds me of you. Mr. Edgeworth must be an avid chess player. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Edges surrounding a pawn with spiky hair. Nah, it's nothing. A work desk. It's quite tidy as one might expect. What a nice desk. Easy to use and easy on the eyes. It's polished so well I can see my own reflection. Strange, why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? Maybe because he's the one making the desk bright? Maybe I'll take that name plaque as a souvenir. Don't, he'll sue you. So the body was found in your car? Go ahead, say it right. You think I did it, don't you? After you went through all the trouble to help me last year, no less. No, we don't think you did it. I mean, it was my sister who stabbed him. Wait, no, she didn't do that. I mean, wait. So you're the chief prosecutor's little sister then? Yes, sir. Emma Sky. It's nice to meet you again. Now that didn't sound forced at all. Ah, now I remember. You've really grown. I'll admit it, it was a surprise for me too. To think that my own car would become the scene of a murder. More surprising still, I'm being forced to prove my superior's guilt. I can understand. Wait, what did you say? Lana Sky is the chief prosecutor, the top prosecutor in the district. She can't prosecute herself, so I'll be the prosecutor at the trial tomorrow. You, Mr. Edgeworth? To be honest, it's a bit of a miracle I'm still here at all. What do you mean? Rumors? You've heard the rumors about me, haven't you? Miles Edgeworth. It's hard to remember a time when there weren't rumors about this guy. Forging evidence, arranging false testimony, illegal searches, you name it. Thanks to you, my innocence was established in the trial at the end of last year. However, there are some who say I'm the one responsible for the current incidents. What? That's crazy! Some people need very little excuse to think ill of others. It's a fact of life, impossible to stop. But some of them even go so far as to present me with toys like this. They think it's funny. Toys? That bronze shield? There's got to be a story behind that one. Chief Prosecutor Sky. Yes, we first worked together on a case 2 years ago. It was my first big case. That's right, I remember. 2 years ago, I wasn't even a lawyer yet. Since then, I always felt that she was looking out for me. It appears that I was mistaken. Mistaken? Why? I mean, I know she's not the warmest person, but I'm sure she felt some responsibility for you. Then, why? Why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? Not only that, she stabbed him with my knife. What? Mr. Edgeworth, your knife was the murder weapon? To be specific, it was the knife I keep in the toolbox in the trunk of my car. The murder weapon, usually in Edgeworth's toolbox, traces of victim's blood, no prints. Edgeworth, what? Are you sure you didn't do it? Come on, can you take a joke? You have a strange sense of humor, Mr. Wright. Now I'm gonna have to move. If I talk to her... No? She's not here. It's against my policy to discuss evidence with the defense, especially with you. He doesn't like you much, does he, Mr. Wright? Nah, with Edgeworth, it's never personal. It's all about winning tomorrow. Say, Edgeworth, I was wondering about this. Mr. Wright, huh? What? Are you sure you should be showing that to Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, he'd take it for sure, won't he? I wish I could be on the same side as Mr. Edgeworth. But then my sister would be found guilty. If he sighs any deeper, I'm going to start getting depressed. So, you got yourself a nice trophy, eh? So basically, this says you were the best of the best last year, huh? You can take that foolish grin elsewhere, right? I lost a day of work to receive that travesty. Huh? Why is that? I had to go to the police department to receive that broken shield. The police department? Yes, right next to the police station downtown. You've been there, haven't you? Where Detective Gumshoe works? Yeah. I was wondering something about your shield. Why is it broken? What does it matter? I've got more important things to worry about. Oh, right. He doesn't seem too concerned about his award, for better or for worse. Yesterday was a very busy day for the prosecutor's office. Maybe we should ask him more about yesterday. The day of the crime. Could you tell me more about yesterday, the day of the murder? Yesterday was the annual cleaning day at the prosecutor's office. Cleaning day? Working with the police department, we sort and file all evidence for solved cases. We call it evidence transfer. Wiping your hands off old cases, in other words. Oh, and another thing, the ceremony was held at the police department. There was an annual review and awards for outstanding police and officers and prosecutors. Wow. And nothing for lawyers, I guess. Attorneys. Defense attorneys. And that's when you got the shield. I was at the police department yesterday afternoon. I got back here at 5:12. That's very precise. People like myself and Mr. Edgeworth pride ourselves on our precision, Mr. Wright. No, I place little faith in my memory. The only thing I trust is solid evidence. And when did the murder happen? We don't know yet, maybe. I don't have the autopsy report. This is the parking stop from the underground lot. The murder took place around 5:15. So the murder happened right after you got back. What, Mr. Wright? I'd appreciate it if you'd direct that suspicious glare elsewhere. Yeah, that guy. I sort of remember him. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm Edgeworth. What is it? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Report? What? Did you find new evidence in the case against Chief Prosecutor Sky? I don't like the way this conversation is going at all. Sky, sir. No, sir. No name of that kind, sir. Not in this report, sir. think I just heard Edgeworth's lid blow. Edgeworth's lid isn't on very tight, is it? I made a clear request to the police department, did I not? I need to focus on the trial tomorrow, so don't bring me anything unrelated. Sir, but sir! I'm just following orders, sir. They told me to bring this to you. I wasn't aware of the particulars of your arrangement, sir. Give me your name. Yes, sir. Meekins, sir. Officer Meekins. Right, Officer Meekins, take your report and leave. And good luck with that raise next month. But sir, I didn't know. Poor guy, it looks like he was absent on the day they gave out brains and good luck. Right? Yes, sir. Guy caught me off guard. As you can see, I'm busy. You may leave now. Let's do what he says, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective from the State Department as that patrolman just now. Go down to the police department. You can ask more there. Uh-huh. Thanks. He seems to have finally calmed down at least. We're finally here. Why would they put the police department so far away from the prosecutor's office? Beats me. That took almost 30 minutes by taxi and traffic wasn't even that bad. The police department, huh? I've only ever been to criminal affairs next door. Hold on, what's that? Disturbing. Why does it undulate like that? Oh wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you sure know a lot about the police. Still, he does seem familiar somehow. Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Uh-oh, he noticed me. He sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal! What are you doing here? That's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there? He's gonna make this gesture. What? Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information. Hey, I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. I didn't do it. Just to prove me wrong. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You'd better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Why not? Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned a detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yes, well, no, come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her. But what if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal, can I speak to you for a second? Huh? Me? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister. What? Chief prosecutor's little sister? Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's a sensitive issue with us these days. You don't say. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe, why did you do this time? What do you mean, this time? What happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true, we've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the Badger dance down, pal. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. And Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall? Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy. A patrolman in charge of a crime scene. It's unheard of, pal. I was wondering about that. What, the dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece. You You made this, Detective Gumshoe? Chief threw together some designs, and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the battery dies. Poor Blue Badger faded to dance until the cops. Gee, I'm so drowsy. I'm falling asleep right there. I'd like to go at least until the point where we get to the courthouse. And then I said, hey, you do that, your soup will get cold, buddy. That's hilarious, sir. I laughed so hard I cried. They make a good pair, yeah. The detectives in there look pretty busy. Just imagine, right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action. Somehow the thought fails to excite me. Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this, huh? Hey, pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it in to the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see, Bruce Goodman. Goodman? Sounds familiar, that's the victim! Isn't it? But didn't you work together with him in criminal affairs? Why, now I remember. Bruce Goodman, he's the victim! How could he have forgotten? That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? So, this ID card belonged to the victim? He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing, it's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Sky called him out there to the parking lot. And Lana's confessing as much. Dun, 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 dun. Miles Edgeworth. 1712. Yeah, he did say 5:12 p.m. The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair. Perhaps. It just goes to show you never know what'll happen when you run a yellow light. I haven't saved anything, have I? Or maybe I did? Yeah, I think I did. No, 20 minutes ago. Found Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course someone else really did it. Someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? We have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Ah, he's not there anymore? A work desk, it's quite tiny as one might expect, blah blah blah. Okay, well it's all the same things then. There's nothing new with her. Now she is not there. What did I do? think I changed the setting without meaning to. Yeah, like so. What do I do now? A car? You know why patrol cars are painted in black and white? No idea. Why? Well, I think they're designed after a panda. A panda? Not that I have scientific proof, it's just a theory. Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory? It was when I was on a school trip. I saw a patrol car and it came to me. We had just been at the zoo, see? What about zebras? Or did they not have those at your zoo? What's that? The banner here is announcing the crime-fighting campaign. Nice slogan. I wonder if they'll be selling fingerprint sets. I don't think it's that kind of campaign. What family wouldn't want to send at home? It's good for finding out who snuck into the cookie jar. I think most families can figure that out without the extra help. Yeah, I can't examine the area around the car, unfortunately. This guard monitors the visitor's room. He's frozen in fear of the frigid Miss Lana, who is not there. She's not even there. I'm feeling a bit chilly myself. How would that happen if he's not there? Oh yeah, okay, well... yeah, I'm at a loss, I'm afraid. Well, tell you what, guys, I have to stop here for today. I know it hasn't been a very long stream, but at least I made some progress. Well, normally nothing should prevent me from streaming tomorrow night. Well, I wish you guys a good one until then. It was nice, as usual, and I hope to see you again tomorrow then. See ya!